Oh my god, you guys. So I woke up today and I knew we were going to have another nor'easter. What I didn't know was what the latest storm stirring up in Washington was. And I was all ready today to talk about Betsy DeVos giving her 60 Minutes interview. And I was like, how is this woman uh, Secretary of Education? I barely had time to give her answers any thought, though, because I was caught off guard by the subplot of the White House, the Stormy Daniels story. If you don't know, the porn star says she's willing to give back her $130,000 in order to speak out. And, like Betsy DeVos, she gave an interview with 60 Minutes, except with Anderson Cooper, and the White House is trying to stop it from airing. I think this might be the first time in history where the country is largely proclaiming, I want to hear what the porn star has to say. But that story is nowhere near as urgent as the fact that when my mother woke me up this morning, she told me there was a departure in the White House, and I was like, yes, Jared got it! And then she was like, no, it's Rex Tillerson. And while he's just about as qualified as everyone else in the White House is, I was still disappointed. I mean, not only is he the coolest of the cabinet members, I mean, seriously, he has all the makings of a James Bond villain, from his face to his name to the fact he owned an oil company. For the first time since I've known him, I've been waiting for Daniel Craig to turn up in front of him, holding a gun, being like, "It's over, Tillerson," and then he says, "Well, that's what you think, Mr. Bond, but I've still got one trick up my sleeve." And now we've reached the moment where a fellow villain pushes him over the ledge into the doomsday device, probably Mike Pompeo, since he's Tillerson's successor. And besides, just Google a picture of him. He looks like someone who would do it. You know he totally would. He might have done it to someone already. I don't know. There's no way to prove it. Anyway, if Tillerson was pushed over the edge both physically and metaphorically, it might just end up triggering the self-destruct sequence while Daniel Craig grabs the captive Melania, ziplines away from the explosion, and underlings Jared and Ivanka are left behind. Just something to think about, MGM. Just something to think about. Anyway, not only is he like a character out of a blockbuster movie, but he was one of the few people in the cabinet to have been reported to call David Dennison out on his BS, even saying he is a effing moron. This really is the Comey firing all over again. It's out of the blue. The person who was fired found out about the same way the American public did, and the guy inhabiting the Oval Office is well known to have a strained relationship with him. And whatever tantrum he throws on TV or on Twitter afterwards is totally self-inflicted. To his credit, though, since Mike Pompeo will be leaving his position as CIA director to become Secretary of State, because why not, his position will be taken by Gina Haspel, the deputy CIA director, who will now become the first woman in history to be CIA director. That's right. As I always say, even a broken clock is right twice a day, even if that clock looks like it was made of wax and was left out in the sun for too long. And while it is undeniably great for a woman to be able to make the same opportunities made for her as that has been an exclusively male position since the dawn of time, I like to read you a quote from Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, and yes, that is his real name, about Haspel during her February 2017 appointment as deputy director before the Senate Intelligence Committee. I am especially concerned by reports that this individual was involved in the unauthorized destruction of CIA interrogation tapes, which documented the CIA's use of torture against two CIA detainees. My colleagues, Senator Wyden and Henrich, have stated that classified information details why the newly appointed deputy director is unsuitable for the position and have requested that this information be declassified. I join the request, say yay for women for getting the same chance as men, but boo for those not being the right women. But it's better than nothing, right? Tomb Raider is out in theaters this Friday, March 16th. Nobody is paying me to say that. I'm just really excited. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, and especially if you're in the middle of this nor'easter that we have here in New England. Have a good time.